Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love to another edition of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Day 13 of camp has come and gone. And today was basically a go through the motions kind of day. There was nothing serious. They were not in pads today. They were basically out there just preparing for tomorrow's joint practice versus the Miami Dolphins. As y'all can see, it's been, these days are starting to get long. It's all starting to run together. Prepare for the Miami Dolphins tomorrow. And just not a ton that you truly can take away from today. There were some really nice plays. Saw Ben Johnson start to get creative, got a little flea flicker option that Caleb Williams threw a nice deep ball on, but Jaquan Brisker coming over, making a nice play on the ball, intercepting it there. I thought that, there was some nice little, runs from Kyle Monunga and things like that. But again, nobody in pads. So it's very tough to sit here and say, oh, this is what you get, or this is what you're going to see, right? Because you truly can't take away from it. And I'll tell you what, it felt even less when you're sitting there watching it after you see one of the most, the toughest practice that we've seen out of this team under Ben Johnson, one of the most tough practices that we've seen out of this team overall over the past 3, 4, 5 coaches, however far you want to go back with that. So today, it truly felt like we're still got to work. We still got to get some good work in, but we're truly waiting for tomorrow when we get to go up against the Miami Dolphins. Some housekeeping that I do want to take care of here. We did see Darnell Wright and Kyler Gordon leave practice early today. Haven't gotten word on if it's serious or not, and there was still no Kmet out there. So some of these little things starting to pop up. I'll be very intrigued to see if we see these guys out there tomorrow for the joint practice, because, listen, I continue to say I think the joint practice is more valuable than the preseason games end up being, because you truly get to see your first team out there versus the Miami Dolphins first team, or the Buffalo Bills when they come to town, their first team, right? You truly get to see what your football team looks like on the field for more than just a series or whatever it is. So I think that this is going to be vastly important. I think that a lot of decisions are going to be made in this joint practice. And listen, the team is ready. Grady Jarrett said as much today. The team is ready to hit somebody, not them. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's a shorter training camp, and it feels a lot quicker than it did last season, because last season at this point, I think we might have been, if we're at day 13 here, we might have been at day like 19 or 20 at this point, because we had the Hall of Fame game last year. But it still is, okay, we've gotten through the install. We've kind of started to get some things figured out, and now we're ready to hit somebody not with a Bears jersey on. And so very excited to see what this joint practice is going to look like tomorrow. That'll get cracking at 10:10 tomorrow with Ben Johnson speaking at the press room, then 10:30 on the field. And I think that this is a team that feels very, very ready for this moment because of the practice that we saw, right? Ben Johnson has them prepared for this. And yes, you are seeing some guys get dinged up and little things like that, because of some of the aggressiveness of the practice. But Grady Jarrett said it today as well. It feels like a team that's prepared to go out there and play football. And that is what I'm very excited to see as we continue to go through here. Outside of that, though, I didn't think there was anything massive. The biggest thing probably that we heard today or saw from today was Caleb Williams clearing up all of this mess with the video that's going all over social media. And I think trying to remember, was it Chase Daniels who also dropped the video basically saying the same thing that Caleb said, talked about the net drill. I love how Pat Finley opens it up, by the way, as well. He's like, so there's this video out there, right? And Caleb immediately starts laughing. And what he said was, it's a quick delivery drill, so you catch it. You're not trying to get the laces or anything. It's not like you're going through reads. It's just catch and deliver, and try to deliver to the bottom left corner. We're trying to aim as if it's a screen. It's a competition between us. So how fast can you get it out? How accurate can you get it out? It just so happened that they blow that one up and not any of the other ones. I just laugh at it. And I think that's so apropos for how this has gone, right? There's a ton of videos online of Caleb Williams doing the net drill. I probably posted 2 or 3 of them myself throughout practice, where he's hitting it directly into the net. There's a drill that they did that we recorded that I know I posted, right? Where he's throwing it just over the net, and it's about how close you can get to the top bar to essentially mimic putting it over the defender's hand, right? And he's dominating that drill. None of those are going to blow up. And I thought Louis Riddick said something the other day that was very on point, and I tweeted it out. And it basically, if you came into this and you already didn't like the guy, you're not going to give him enough time to come out there and hit the field and figure out how the NFL works. And I think that's what we've seen with the conversation. There's been a ton of successful videos. There's been a ton of videos where it's a beautiful pass from Caleb Williams in this training camp. There's been a ton of videos where Caleb is doing some great things here at camp. Those aren't the ones that get blown up. The ones that get blown up are the negative talk, the negative conversation, right? It's like if you've seen the new Superman movie, right? How Lex Luthor was spreading the propaganda out there. If you haven't, that's all I'll say. But like, it truly is some of that sometimes where you have to take everything that you're seeing online and understand that, one, you're not seeing everything that is happening in and out of practice. Two, you're also not seeing everything that the coaches are trying to accomplish on those drills. There's people that probably looked at that and thought it was just throw it in the net from 10 yards out. No, there was a purpose to the drill. There was a meaning to the drill. And yeah, did he not get that one right? Yes, but he also said he was literally just having fun with the other quarterbacks, and it was kind of like a competition just between them to see who could get the most into the net. It wasn't, this is how we're going to decide who QB1 is or how we're going to figure out how accurate Caleb Williams is. If you want to see how accurate Caleb Williams is, look at the dime that he dropped on Roma Dunze down the left sideline in a real 11-on-11 period. If you want to see how accurate Caleb Williams is, look at the multitude of videos that are also online where Caleb is throwing a dot in there. And I think that's truly, how it comes. We're talking about install here in the install period, that finally being over. Tomorrow is truly the first day. And we kind of thought today might be the day. I didn't know if they were going to be at pads or not. So I said that on the Designer Driving Chronicles coming in. But tomorrow's truly going to be the first day where neither side is scripting for anything. Neither side different things like that. And I think there's a conversation to be had on that process as well. But the biggest thing about what we're seeing right now is tomorrow's going to be the first day where Caleb Williams and this first team offense truly are giving you a look at, okay, what plays is he comfortable with? What plays isn't he comfortable with? How are they going out there and executing? And I think that's, I asked Caleb today about how comfortable he is with this new offense. And he talked about, he's still figuring it out, but he does feel comfortable. And the reason I said that is because we've seen Caleb a couple of times here on the sideline. He's the one that's going out there and saying, hey, you got to make this play. You got to make this catch. You got to make this, whatever it is. He's the one that's out there, telling Luther Burden today, even Luther Burden was getting ready to go in motion, looked like he was going to stop. And you see Caleb behind his back pointing like this, telling him, you got to keep going. That's not where you're stopping on this play. There are portions of this offense that everybody is not up to speed on. And I love the fact that Caleb said that now he's feeling comfortable with the offense. He feels like he knows what he needs to do. And now he can start to push some of the other guys to get to the point where they know, where they're all on the same level, where they're dominating, when it's 11 guys out there all working as one. And it feels like that's kind of the point where we're at, where in this Dolphins joint practice, probably not in the preseason game, but then the practices after that leading up to the Bills joint practice, those are going to be the ones where you truly look at it and say, okay, where is this team at as an 11-on-11 offense? I love how Grady said it. He was like, the defense is out there making some mistakes too. You just don't notice them as much because they're not blown up. They're not all over the internet. You don't know where a guy's assignment is supposed to be. You don't know how a guy, and the goal is, and the hope is, right, with a lot of people online, that the offense beats the defense every single time in practice, where I love what we saw in that practice where it was very physical. You get Grady going out there and he's winning a rep. And then you get Caleb on the other side and he's making a big pass. And then, you get Jaquan on a nice breakup. And then you get DJ with a nice screen. And then you get Cole with a nice block. And then you get Kyler coming in and making a big hit, right? Like those are the things where I keep saying this, that true iron sharpens iron mentality is what you're hoping the Bears are going to be able to get out of this, continuing to move forward. And it seems like that's truly been going on in this training camp for the first time in a while. Tomorrow's going to be the big day. It's going to be, like I said, an earlier practice, so expect the designer driving chronicles a little bit earlier tomorrow. We've also got, what else do we got coming up here? Oh, we will be live tonight for the Thursday night football games over on the Breeze Sports Talk. That's our national channel. We're going to be doing a ton of live watch parties, so we're getting it cracking tonight. We'll be watching football all night, so come through, watch football with us. That's going to be a heck of a lot of fun tonight. And then, of course, we got the simulation coming you guys' way in a few days. So, hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, drop a bar down in the comments if you're a real Bears fan in here. Again, I told you guys about what we're going to be doing for giveaways when the season gets here. Every single week, we're going to be trying to give away another piece of Bears memorabilia, Bears jersey, Bears hats, different things like that. So make sure that you are dropping bear downs in the comments. We're going to be collecting all the names, and we're going to be making sure the people who are, trying to get in on that contest are truly going out there and getting some of that merch back. So appreciate y'all for showing love. As always, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.